This is Cadillac Unscripted on 107.9 CDY, a half hour of local chat with Katy, Huckle, and myself, and it's sponsored by Independent Bank. And now we're talking one of the crown jewels of Wexford County. We have Pete Meyer with us, General Manager of Caberfae.
Yep.
Good morning, Pete.
Hey, good morning, Rich and Katy.
So, Pete, it's just been a crazy year, as we know, but it seems like you're the constant out there. Smiles and fun and snow and fresh air. How's it going? You must be insanely busy.
You just summed it up really well right there with the smile portion of it.
Aww.
So it has been really refreshing to see. So the demand and the turnout has been huge, and it's been really fun because this has been an outlet for everyone, an opportunity for them to get outside, recreate outdoors, breathe that fresh air that you're talking about, and just feel normal. So people are kind of tired of being cooped up and not being able to do things, and this has been just a wonderful outlet for them. And it's really been refreshing to see just how happy everybody is when they're here. So
oh my gosh.
It's been a great feeling. Yeah,
you probably knew going into this, Pete, that this was going to be a winter unlike any other for you out there, right?
Well, we really didn't have any idea. One thing we did have is a lot of notice.
Right.
As an industry, we all shut down in the middle of March when everything broke. And so one thing that we've had all spring, summer, and fall to plan for our reopening. So it was really neat to see the coordination not only at the national level, but at the regional level and specifically at the state level, together just on a reopening plan. So there was a lot of work and planning that went into it. So we had weekly Zoom calls with some of the other area operators and had the Michigan Snow Sports Industries Association director on the line, and also a person in charge of the outdoor recreation in Lansing. So he was the pipeline to the administration there. So we just had a nice reopening plan. We wanted to have a safe plan, and we want to have a plan that would ensure that we stayed open all season long. And it's working so far. It's working well.
Can you tell us what that looks like in terms of capacity?
Yeah. So the big thing was face coverings inside and out. That's nothing new for the indoors, but it is a little bit new for the outdoors. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to make sure that everybody was wearing face coverings while they were in the lift queue or the lift line, and while they're loading the chair when they're in a little bit closer proximity to other people. We did do a lot of work in planning the layout to the lift line, so we have ghost lanes in between the lines, so you have that spacing between the people. And then really, we're not letting people on the chairlift if they don't have a face covering. So you need a lift ticket and a face covering to get on the chair.
Okay.
And also that plays into coming indoors as well. So the biggest change was we have a huge demographic that would bring their own food and picnic lunch, and the lower level of our lodge is dedicated to crock potters. And I know those that have been out have seen it. It's it's quite the scene, and it's part of who we are, and it helps make the sport very affordable for families coming out.
That's right.
Unfortunately, we had to say no. You can't do that this year. You need to boot up at your car. Get ready at your car. Our main message was your car is your day lodge, so come prepared. We did let people, we do let them come inside to use the restroom and get food to go, but that's it. I mean, there's no furniture inside any of our buildings, so there wasn't an opportunity for them to hang out inside, and we moved all of our picnic tables outside. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of neat to see, and people, what's been neat is people are commenting and asking if we're going to keep those tables outside in the future, at least some of them, because they're really enjoying it. So it's been neat to see people adapt and get creative.
Pete, what I'm hearing, and I need to come out and get a tour from you, but I've had several people tell me some folks use this as an opportunity to kind of kick back and relax, and instead you started making improvements to your facilities. Can you tell us about some of the things that you've done to the resort?
Yeah, absolutely. So we made the conscious decision to press on during the off season, and we made some pretty massive investments with our snowmaking. We put in a new well that is a 12-inch well. It's 300 feet deep, so that was pretty expensive, and that flows 1,000 gallons a minute into a holding pond or reservoir that allows the water to cool the biggest expense that we added was another snowmaking pump that pumps the water out of that reservoir up the hill to the snow guns. So we added a well and a pond to greatly increase our pumping capacity, just so we can flow a lot more water, and we can flow a lot more water, you can make a lot more snow. And you know what? It really worked out well this year because we got some cold weather early, and we were able to get 100% open during that cold weather. And then the winter has been really mild after that, and which has been great because people have had to stay outside and eat outside, and they can't come in the lodge to warm up. So it's been a great year to have a nice mild winter, but we had to hit it hard when we had that colder weather up front. So we're one of the first resorts to get 100% open, and that was a result of that massive undertaking that we did over the summer.
You're a prophet. It's like you knew it was coming. I mean, Rich, I will tell you, running a ski resort is like being a farmer. You don't know what the weather's going to do, and you better be ready.
And you're at the whim of whatever Mother Nature throws at you, right?
It's a great analogy. So we call them snow farmers. Exactly right. Those the snowmaking team. They are farming snow. Yeah, absolutely.
So, question, Pete, and I know you run a tight ship. So, what happens when you get, because you are known as, and now of course everything looks beautiful out there, but you are also known as a family ski resort where you're not going to bankrupt the family to bring them up to ski. And I happen to know some families from other states that have been coming to your place. How do you work with your rules with people from a state that aren't as restricted as the state of Michigan? I mean, are folks respectful of that?
You know, it's been neat to see because the absolute majority of people are very respectful of our COVID protocols and adhering to all of our protocols. Okay. Obviously, we have a few outliers, a couple of people that have really caused some problems with it, but those are the real minority. So it's really nice to focus on all those that are adhering to it, enjoying it, and doing what it takes to help us stay open. So they want to ski and they want to snowboard all season, and they're on board and doing what they need to do for us to stay open.
Oh, that's awesome. So, Rich, this is the wedding venue. I don't know if you knew that, but I mean, people, when they get married, get engaged, whatever, they head out there to meet with Pete and talk about catering and his facility. Tell us about how many weddings ballpark per year, and then how did you handle weddings that had to get canceled?
So that was a tough start to the summer, the spring and summer. We have a lot of weddings booked. We have normally 2 every weekend from about mid or late April to the second weekend of November, and then we don't do weddings during the winter because we use that lodge for our day lodge for skiing. Mm-hmm. But it was kind of a tough start because we weren't able to do weddings.
Yikes!
So all of them in April, May, June, and most of July were either canceled and refunded or rescheduled. Majority, fortunately, were rescheduled. So we started doing them the last Sunday in July, I think it was July 26th, and we were able to get all the other ones in afterwards. They just were a lot different. We did as much as possible outside. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of windows open. They were small. They were plate service, and lots of limitations. But people were happy to adapt to because they just wanted to have. They felt fortunate to be able to have that smaller wedding and that celebration.
Right.
So next summer is very, very full because of all the ones we had to reschedule. So we got a full summer ahead of us. We don't have to reschedule them twice.
And that really speaks volumes about you that people wanted to have their wedding so badly at Caberfae that they were willing to delay the wedding to have it there. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Indeed, they were. We'll see if we can't do weddings here in April and May because I'm not sure if we'll be able to. We'll see if they're willing to reschedule it twice or not. I'm not so sure.
Wow. So, Pete, when you said something like plate service, I mean, the weddings that I've been to several weddings, everything was buffet style, everything was delicious, but it was buffet style. Who handles all of these modifications? This ghost line on the lift, and who decides? Okay, now we're going to have to rework this because the rest of the work doesn't go away. So, who's in charge of making all these modifications?
Well, so we just need to adhere to the current rules and guidelines. So one of those was no buffet type meals or no buffets. So that's we were forced to make that change, and we just made that change and adapted. And to be honest, it's a much higher quality experience and a better experience and better service for the guests. So it's something that we're considering not going back to as well. It depends on the obviously it depends on what the client wants and what they prefer. But I think it's just a nicer, higher end meal. But it's also a little bit more sanitary and COVID friendly as well.
Okay. The other fun thing that I heard about is that your hot tub at the hotel is open in the winter, and I think for folks to be outside in a hot tub is fun. Can you tell us about that? Is that a new thing?
Yeah, no, that's not a new thing. We've had the pool and the hot tub for quite a while now, but it is open year round, and it gets most of its use in the wintertime. We keep the pool at 84 degrees, and then the hot tub at regular hot tub temperature. So it's kind of nice because it's our main nighttime activity here.
Mm-hmm.
We have 39 room lodge, and then a lot of times the kids will be swimming in the pool and go jump in a snowbank, and then come back and jump back in the pool, and they're just having a blast. While the adults are sitting in the hot tub having an adult beverage after a day on the slopes.
Oh, that's Rich. Does this sound like something we want to do? Yes.
Yeah, sure does.
So, Pete, is there? About you personally, the whole winter goes by. Is there ever a time when you have time to ski, or is it just absolute mayhem and a full court press the whole winter for you?
It's pretty busy just because it's 7-day-a-week operation, and we're dealing with a lot of part-time seasonal employees, and it's a pretty big workforce here. We have over 200 employees. So fortunately, I have my cousin Tim. He helps me. He's the mountain operations manager, so he takes about half the employees and handles all the mountain operations. So that's a nice it's a big assist there, and we rely on each other to manage the resort throughout the winter.
Wow. And then the golf course piece. Can you tell us about the golf course?
Yeah, the golf course is a 9-hole beautiful golf course. It's very well maintained. It's all bent grass, tees, greens, and fairways. There's 11 bridges that run through the 9 holes, and it's very scenic. There's a large ravine and creek that runs through there. So and that's busy too as well. With outdoor recreation, golf was busy everywhere this summer, and we do a lot of golf leagues at night and just get a lot of play. And it's nice for us. It's only 9 holes, but it allows us to keep some staff on that take care of the golf course that we really need in the wintertime. So it works well for us.
Oh, my gosh. There's never a dull moment out at Caberfae. I can't believe it. It's already time to take a break. We're going to be back with more from Caberfae and the general manager, Pete Meyer, right after this.
And Cadillac Unscripted, sponsored by our friends at Independent Bank. It's Cadillac Unscripted, Part 2, 1079 CDY, sponsored by Independent Bank. And we have Pete Meyer, general manager of Caberfae Peaks, with us. And Pete, there's a lot of Facebook marketing that goes on for Caberfae Peaks, and a lot of that involves visuals that are very stunning. And those visuals are provided by a fellow who started off selling cars in Cadillac and built his business to the point where he was able to just concentrate on making videos. And we're talking about Jeff Boss from Montage Media Films. And Pete, just before we started the second segment, we were talking off the air about how that got started. So can you tell me how you and Montage Media Films came together?
Yeah, for sure. So Jeff has just been a huge asset to Caberfae. It's been great. He puts out some great content and really enjoys this place and loves doing it. So it probably started, I think, 4 or 5 years ago now, but maybe even a little bit longer. But how it started was we had a Facebook competition of who could make the best Caberfae video on Facebook.
Okay,
and he was selling cars at the time, like you said, and came out and put this 1-minute video out that was just phenomenal. So you could tell he had a passion for it. He had an eye for it. At that time, he didn't have all the equipment that he has today, obviously, but he really did a good job, and he obviously won by landslide. And then he's an avid skier. He's out here all the time. So I had started having conversations with him, and I'm like, if you want to do more of this, let me know. So then I had him do just a couple of more videos through that year, or through that season that we paid him to do. And, it gave him a ton of exposure. So we have a large follow on Facebook, and people saw what he could do. And so he started getting phone calls, and he started doing stuff during that summer and did a few weddings, did a big wedding here, got a lot of exposure for that. And so through that next summer, he got pretty busy during the summer. So then he comes out and sits down in my office in the late fall and says, I really want to do this. This is my passion. I want to go out on my own, but I'm worried about the winter. I got to be able to support my family, and I'm not worried about the summers. I know that's already have stuff booked for next summer, but it's a big jump. I'm nervous about it. And then so we kind of worked up an agreement for him to be our marketing guy over the course of the winter, and it's worked out great for him, and it's worked out even better for us. So it's kind of a neat little story that he just took him. We were able to give him the incentive that he needed to quit his job and follow his passion, and he's been very successful since.
Oh, that's an awesome story. And Little Cadillac, Pete,
Yeah.
And you're talking about these other ski resort owners that and I know you guys are very well connected. The family's been in the business forever. I bet those guys had some questions about, hey, Pete, where'd you find this guy, right?
Well, they a lot of them started to copy us. None of them did the type of video content that we had, and we were kind of the industry leader on that.
Awesome.
The Michigan, and it was pretty cool. And then they all started to follow suit and do some stuff like it. But it's all because of Jeff and Montage Media.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know about this partnership. That's awesome. They say, what do they say? The highest compliment is when someone, copies you. See, so
exactly.
Well,
exactly.
And it's great when both parties benefit equally from it. You got him started, and he was able to lift your marketing efforts. And obviously, ski resorts they lend themselves to visuals like this.
Oh my, yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They do, and people, what's unique about the ski resort business is people just want to see just what the current snow conditions are, or something recent, like recent videos, recent photos. It's never. You can always continue to put it out. It's always fresh. They want to see fresh material, right, and fresh content.
It's funny. I mean, even on local radio, we hear about the snow report. I mean, people are really watching this because their weekend plans depend on snow accumulation and that kind of stuff. So, and of course, you're having a bang up weekend. Lots of snow.
Absolutely. It's been great to get all this fresh snow. It's kind of been a light snow year, so it's been wonderful to have all this new snow come in the last couple of days.
Oh, that's great. So, Pete, for our listeners that haven't skied before, they don't really know how to put their toe in the water, I think Caberfae is a great place for them to start. What would you recommend? That they come out and meet with one of your instructors and they get on a little hill and give it a go?
Yeah, absolutely. So the other neat thing about this season, it's brought a lot of people back to the sport. So we've seen so many people. You talk to the guys in our tune shop and demo center who mount and tune skis and adjust bindings, and they've never seen so many families come in with skis that they got out of the basement and haven't touched in like 5 years, or got out of their attic and haven't touched in like 10 years. So they're bringing them back out, and it's been neat to see just the resurgence in the sport and the industry. But those that have never ever, yeah, absolutely, we have a full snow sports team. They're all trained and certified instructors. And we got some brand new rental equipment recently, so it's really good equipment to learn on. And so I would definitely recommend signing up for a lesson your first time out. And we do hour-long lessons. You could book 1 or 2 hours or more if you want. A lot of people just book 1 hour. But what that does is it just gives you a nice foundation. They'll show you the fundamentals, how to stop, how to turn, how to be in control. And once you have those skills, then you can just take off and just have fun the rest of the time.
It's funny when you talk to people around the country. I've got a lot of girlfriends in different states like Texas or, Louisiana. And I'm like, well, our ski team, it's unusual, Rich. We think it's normal to have a high school ski team. Mm-hmm. Because people in Michigan have high school ski teams, but it really is a gift to be able to offer that as a sport. Sort of like, when we got hockey in Cadillac, that was really exciting. We've had a ski team around for a long time, but what's equally as wonderful is that the kids take the ski bus. I mean, when they're young, they can get on a school bus and go out, and for, X amount of dollars, it's all very affordable. They can start skiing at a young age, and it's almost like an after school activity. And to have Caberfae so close is a gift. And Pete, I think the unintended consequence probably of COVID is people appreciate Caberfae more than ever because there's other things they couldn't do, like go to the gym,
Absolutely. And you mentioned that the ski bus, and that's such an important part of the area. Because if you don't grow up in a ski family or have a friend who's a skier, you can go with their family. That is the way. That is really the only way that people get introduced to the sport. So we have these great partnerships with area schools called our night school skiing program, and they can come out and get a lift ticket for only $8 and a ski rental for $2. So it makes it very affordable. Includes a helmet, includes a lesson. It's great. You see these young kids, and it's great for their self-confidence, and it's great for their self-esteem, and they just get out here, and you don't have to be very coordinated to do it, and they just take off, and it's fun to see.
And it's great for Caberfae because you're investing in the future.
Well, you're exactly right. So these guys, they do it, and hopefully they continue to ski, and then they'll buy season passes when they get older.
Really a unique thing that those guys are doing and have been doing for years. I mean, you don't find that in other communities. $10 to get your kids out on the slope and they don't have to buy equipment. I mean, that's just awesome. So, Pete, 10 years from now, let's fast forward. Because I feel like you're just getting started, and you're young, but you're not that young. Where will Caberfae be? What do you want to see in 10 years? What would your dream be?
Well, we have some plans. We have some things in the works. Our main focus is going to be expanding our terrain.
Awesome.
Right now, we're looking at adding some more runs and more lifts down the road, and have just more chairlifts and more options and more variety for our skiers and snowboarders. So that's our long-term plans, and there's a lot of details that go into that, but I'll stay out of those details for now.
How exciting! So that makes your fans even bigger fans when they find out you're ready to expand, and that's the plan. That's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, what does Pete do when the resort shuts down and the last flake of snow has fallen? Is it like, okay, I need a break? I mean, because your hair's on fire for so many months running the show.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of hair to be on fire, Katy. You know that, but I'll take it. I know what you mean. No, Tim and I talk about how April's one of our favorite months of the year. It's everybody's least favorite month because the weather's terrible, but ours, like we kind of definitely have a period of time where we shut down between skiing and weddings and golf, and that's a nice 2 to 3 weeks that absolutely just recharge the batteries and not do a whole lot. It's nice.
Oh my gosh. So Pete, your background is in accounting, isn't that correct?
Yeah, it's correct. Yep. I'm a certified public accountant.
Isn't that the man is running a ski resort and he's a CPA, Rich?
Well, you won't have to worry about the books then.
No, we do not have to worry about the books. Yep, we got that covered.
He runs a tight ship. Tell us about, you've got a lot of students, a lot of teenagers working for you. And that's kind of a feather in your cap, Rich. If you're an instructor out at Caberfae, you get to work on the, chairlift and kids carpool out there. And is that a planned thing that you're hiring teenagers, or what does that look like?
No, it's because we need them. We need them. We can't find enough help otherwise. No, it's funny. We do. Like, we rely very heavily on high school and college kids, and it's a great first job for them.
You bet.
Super fun.
It's a great learning experience, and it's fun to watch them. We'll hire sophomores and juniors, and hopefully have them for 2 to 3 years, and then get them on breaks when they come back in college. And it's great to see them grow and mature, and it's a great start. And they're available on weekends and holidays, and that's when we need all the help. Is on the weekends and holidays, because that's when we're busy. So it works really well. It's the adult part or seasonal worker that's hard to find. The lift operator, the housekeeper, those are a little bit more difficult to find. So having the high school and college kids supplement that really helps.
Oh my, and those kids need money. So that's a win-win. You do have some folks out there when you talk about your adults that have been with you a long time, Pete. I know a couple of folks that have been there for 30 plus years.
For sure. And that's what makes it more of a family atmosphere is these employees. A lot of them have been here a long time. They're just really good people, really kind, and they really care about their jobs. And it's fun to have them around.
Yeah.
It's just a big family.
You mentioned earlier about certain positions are hard to hire for, hard to find the right folks. Do you have open positions? Do you have labor needs out there right now?
Yeah, so we haven't stopped hiring lift operators. So if anybody wants to come out, you have to be 18 and over, and you have to be able to work outdoors. But so we've been hiring lift operators throughout the entire season. So that's our biggest need right now.
Right, and no objection to wearing a mask, obviously.
That's
Right?
correct.
Yep,
absolutely. So what do hours look like during the week and during the weekend, Pete?
So we night ski 5 days a week. On Mondays and Tuesdays, we only day ski. So we're open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays and Tuesdays. And then Wednesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays are big school night groups. That's when the after school groups come out. Fridays we're open until 9 p.m. and then Saturday we're open until 9 p.m. and then Sunday 8 p.m. So it's 7 days a week with night skiing, 5 of them.
Oh my gosh. And then you said you're booking weddings into 2022 now. And the weddings that I've been at were summer weddings, and it seemed like the bridal party and the dads all went golfing while the bride and the bridal party fussed around with hair and all that. And it just seemed like everybody was happy and contained out there because there's the hotel to put everybody up in and the hot tub, and then there's the golf course and rooms to get ready in. And it's kind of nice that it's all right there in a little village.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think that's why we're what makes it such a popular venue because, we're very busy in the winter. In the summer, we're all about the weddings. And so you could come in and really take over the whole resort. If they book the whole hotel, have some tea times, they can do their rehearsal dinner here. They can do it all. They don't have to leave. So the fact that we have lodging here really helps. And, it makes it very appealing. So we do a lot of, drive-to destination weddings. A lot of people coming up from downstate and even coming down from Traverse City just because Traverse City is so expensive.
I was just going to say, Pete, that's what, I've been out and seen how beautiful the facility is and the food's been great, but I've also heard that from the people footing the bill, that you're great to work with, in your the lady that runs catering is great to work with, but also that you're very affordable. And so it's time to wrap up the show, but just thank you and Tim so much for the crown jewel, as Rich calls it, a Cadillac. You're truly a destination and you make a shine, and thank you so much for everything that you're doing at your beautiful resort.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for thinking of us, and we appreciate you guys as well.
Pete Meyer, General Manager of Caberfae Peaks, on with us today on Cadillac Unscripted. We'll rejoin you next week, same time, same station, for some more local chat, sponsored by Independent Bank on Cadillac Unscripted, 107.9 CDY.